Snyder Man, friendly neighborhood dealer man. Spins a deal any size, you got good stuff, he will buy. Hey there, here comes the Snyder Man. Here comes the Snyder Man. Here comes the Snyder Man. Snyder Man.
Hey, you fellow collectors, I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art and the Dueling Dude of Comic Book Art. And we see the belt is on the W. It's a lasting W for 1 week at least. See if I can come back this Wednesday and conquer the Berkster again. But I'm getting my stuff together right now, actually, in between shooting this spot. And we will see if I can bring the heat and make a streak. Make a streak of 2 in a row. But he did lose the Dueling Dealers and Pro-Am too, so he's on a losing streak. Oh, poor Berkster. All right, so, well, that's empty right now. But remember, when you get claimy on the Dueling Dealers of Comic Book Art with Anthony's Comic Book Art, you get a free Dueling Dealers of Comic Book Art, the portfolio. Okay. I may make it a group effort where if I don't win, nobody gets anything. Ha ha! That would be funny. All right, so let's go over. I was very busy over the weekend, very busy. Let's see, we got loose comics, we got bound comics, we got graded comics. I did a show on Sunday, and JP had actually done 2 shows in a row. The last one I was at the Comic Art Con and couldn't do. That one he started Clifton back up, and I heard that was busy. People were happy with how they did. So a bunch of people didn't show up at this one, and I'm like, oh, where's everybody I usually do business with? But I think the sparse dealer room basically helped me do well because I ended up doing fine. And came home with some sales in my pocket and a couple buys that were pretty cool. This was part of what I picked up at the show, actually, and I love these. I really like these. These are bound volumes. They say Popular Comics, July, December 1942, and September to February 37 to 38. What? But the very cool thing is George Delacorte. Who is George Delacorte, you ask? I will tell you. He was the publisher or president of Dell Publishing. So these are his bound file copy type volumes. And then you have this, Popular Comics. This is the old one. Yeah, this 37. So this was, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues in this volume. Got to be very careful with this stuff. See, it's very strippy still. You see all that? It's very strippy. It's very Sunday. These are basically reprints from the Sundays. You see? And what else do you notice? Very little ads. Very little ads in 37, 38. Why? Because this was a new format. Comic books. Comic books were new. And getting sponsorship and selling ad space was new. So this is, part of comic book history. It's from the company. And let's go forward a few short years. This is wartime stuff. Now, it's going to change because, look at that. It's Mr. Delacorte's, what is it? Delacorte's bound volumes. But this is 1942. And you have Midnight, Captain Midnight, The Owl, Gasoline Alley, Don Winslow, Gangbusters, and Hurricane Kids. And what I can tell you about that is, look at that. See, it's wartime. They're like trying to tell kids what the planes that are winning the war, because aviation was so, that was it. That was like the height of what you could do, be a pilot to win the war. See, and now you see that this is original stories. These are stories composed for the comics and not newspapers. You see the format is all changed, and these are comic book stories. And you see the history of comics transform before your eyes. That's why I like this stuff. But again, not too many ads. Not too many ads whatsoever. There's a back cover ad. You can buy a telescope. Go the other way. Yeah, an ad advertising the comics. Yeah. Look at that. Smiling Jack. Bombing a Japanese base. Wartime comic. See if I can catch this first cover. By Victory Bonds. These I really like. I'm happy to pick these up. Now, one of the other, there was a third one, and then there was a couple of pulps that I got that are amazing. All right, I want to show this one too, because this is pretty crazy. This is 1941. All right, but this looks like somebody had put this together. It's kind of an amateur binding. I would call it an amateur binding, or a very low-level professional binding. But look at this. The stuff in here would be worth thousands. Thousands. Look at this. Now, I gotta try. There it is. Look at that. An ad for All Flash Quarterly #1. But that's not the best of it in this book. I paid a lot for this one. I paid more for this one than the other two combined because of these ads. I have to find this other one. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Look, here's an ad for Superman serials that were running. Paramount Shorts in Technicolor. Oh, look at that. All-Star 8. But that's not the best one. You gotta find it. Another nice, oh, look at this. Green Lantern 1. This is just so chock full of great stuff in the ads. The comics are in second place compared to these ads. And that's not the best one. There it is. Holy Moses wearing a skirt. A full page ad for Sensation 1. Love it. Look at that. All in color for a dime. Just doesn't get better than that. So you have the Green Lantern one, you have that early Justice Society, anything else, but that Sensation really rocks my boat. Here's Sensation 2 with the Black Cat, they called him Wildcat. Yeah, Wildcat, Mr. Terrific, the Happy Ghost, the African-American pirate. No, he's just a pirate. Oh, look at that. Ooh. These ads. This is the, I would not have spent the money I spent on this without these ads. Oh, classic Batman 9 cover. So fun. Beautiful All-Star 9, Sensation 3. So, I mean this, oh, Sensation 4. These are books I've never had. I've never had a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Never. Just great stuff. Love it. Picked those up at the show. Guy came back. He tried to sell them to me before. He didn't want to take a check. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll take your check. So, and then, you know, I spent that money. I don't know if I'm going to sell them, honestly, because I love that stuff. That's fun. Okay, a couple more things I want to show you. Old stuff. You have this. I'm not going to take this out. I'm going to show you this because a VF copy of this just sold for $5,500. And that this isn't far off. I would probably give this a very fine minus, fine plus. So I bought that. I picked that up at the show, and I picked up this one at the show as well. This is Marvel Stories, fiction that thrills. But what we got here, folks, this is basically a timely publication, because there it is. Look at that. Now, if you get in close on that face right there, you can really tell. That's Jack Kirby art, my friends. Jack Kirby art. There's a couple more story illos. Look at that. Look at that, Nevada. I was born in Nevada. I like Nevada. Look at that. Pretty sure these are all, or might be, Jack Kirby art. But that's not the big one. The big one is in the back. The World of Tomorrow by Ray Cummings. That sounds familiar. Look at this. Marvel Comics present a short picture story featuring the Human Torch by Burgos, the guy who created the Human Torch. That's definitely Burgos art. So you got Jack Kirby and Burgos art, and that single page story of the Human Torch. And they're like advertising comics. Yes, there's plenty of good, clean reading and loads of thrills in every issue of Marvel Comics. And it costs only 10 cents everywhere. And there's kids over here rioting for comics. So, in this kind of timely pulp, they're advertising for timely comic books. So the best part of these are the ads. Got a batch of, you know, I look around my office sometimes and I'm like, what are we doing here? Oh, we have, you know, 1993 Stan Lee signatures. This is a little stash of Stan Lee signatures I have, like, so I'm probably gonna put these on the eBay store. And this is signed by Stan and his wife. And this is signed by Stan and JR. And this is a portrait of Stan as Flash by Ethan Van Sciver. All right, so we have that. And now we have a batch of CGCs that are going up on the eBay store right now. These are all not up yet and will be going up at least tomorrow. We have an 8.0 Captain America, a 9.8 First Gambit, a 9.8 first Transformers, this crazy good Submariner fighting Russians. Yeah, I know these are to put up. That's why I told you. Okay, they got the first X-Men, as in the first new X-Men in their title. And you got the first Galactus and Silver Surfer. You have this 9.6 Frank Miller. You have a newsstand 9.2 first Venom. And you have the 7.5 first Blade. And they have a 8.0 first Psylocke. And we have a 6.5 first Venom. And last but not least, first new look Batgirl 7.0 Detective Comics 359. All right, so that's kind of what's going on. We came out of the weekend with some really cool stuff. Art-wise, I'm getting ready for the Doing Doers on Wednesday. Bobby also has put-ups for the website, so check with the website for new editions there that are available for immediate purchase. And see me on Wednesday on the Doing Doers of Comic Book Art, where I try to put a streak together and take down the Berkster 2 weeks in a row. I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art, and let's keep the W a W, not an M. A W. See you tomorrow.